What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another one. I know a lot of y'all are like, who the hell is this guy? What does he have to do with this? If you don't know me already, I've been reacting to Roblox for like 2-3 years. I know a lot of people watching this are going to be first-time watchers, so I'm just going to do a quick reintroduction. Yeah, I've been watching Roblox. I was really big with Kaka V420, and I watched Koofy, and I was cool with both of them. But you know, so yeah, obviously, I watched Parlo a couple times. I never really watched him like how I watched other YouTubers though, like how I watched Burr, or like, you know what I'm saying? Like I never really got too much into his drama videos. But apparently he did something. Somebody asked me, one of my longtime watchers asked me to watch this, so I will watch this just for him. Yeah, bro, I don't know what's going on. You know, yeah, I'm gonna do a shameless plug, unfortunately. I got to, because I'm about to put myself through this stress for y'all. So the least y'all can do is subscribe to the new Cozy Block channel. No cap. Bro, we just started playing Roblox, bro. I've been playing a lot of Guts and Black Powder lately. It's been the funnest game on Roblox for me at the moment. Battle Bricks. But y'all boys give me suggestions on what I should react to. So I'm so used to reacting to stuff. Yeah, give me suggestions on what I should play. I do reactions sometimes on here too, but give me suggestions on what I should play. We're growing this channel. We only started it like last month. So we're moving. We're moving up in the world. We're playing some Roblox. Y'all check it out. Now, Parlo, I don't know what's going on with you. I hope he didn't do nothing too crazy. Let's do it.
Before I begin this video, I want to clarify
that don't watch if you're under 13. Y'all are all under 13.
This isn't just a commentary video or some kind
No,
of
Cozy, I'm 14!
From someone who's been close friends with Parlo for nearly 3 years, and after everything that surfaced a couple nights ago, I've made the decision to completely cut ties with him for good, and in this video I intend to explain why. Before I get into everything, please...
Dang, this seems pretty sad and pretty serious. Now I feel bad for plugging my Roblox channel. Nah, I'm lying.
Like this video, subscribe, and comment your thoughts on this whole situation, because I genuinely am wondering what people have to say about this, especially if you were a fan of Parlo's. I want to start off this video by explaining what happened and what led to all of this.
Yeah, well, what is this?
On November 9th, 2 Google documents dropped, one from Parlo and one from someone known as Internet Adjacent or Wolfgang. Both went into disturbing detail about their relationship and what supposedly happened between them in person. Originally, Parlo wanted me to make a video defending him to help quote-unquote...
I know this is super irrelevant, guys, and you know I'm in support of everything and I love everyone and everybody and everything, but what do they identify as? I don't want to misgender nobody. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what. Yeah, help me with that. I ain't going, yeah, okay. Feel me?
Both went into disturbing detail about their relationship and what supposedly happened between them in person. Originally, Parlo wanted me to make a video defending him to help quote-unquote tell his side, but after reading through everything myself, I just can't. What's in those documents completely changed how I see him, and after knowing him for almost 3 years, I couldn't be more disgusted with his decision to make all of this public. Before any of this blew up as it did, I started a major argument with Parlo about it. I told him to keep it private and to take down the documents immediately, because this would not end well for him. At that point, I didn't even realize how bad the document really was. I just knew that turning a situation this serious into public drama was the worst move he could have made, especially as it was a personal situation and a private situation.
Maybe if he made videos, maybe it was to get like the final bit of legal funds he needed.
Instead of actually listening to me, he snapped at me, called me and said he was the biggest victim out of everyone, more than Schlepp, Ruben, or even me. That's when I realized he didn't care about accountability. He wanted control. Up until then, I'd still been trying to give him the benefit of the doubt, but the arrogance and lack of empathy he showed in that argument told me everything I needed to know. And when that document fully came out and when I actually took a look at it, I understood why he was so defensive, because it wasn't just a...
Yo, does that say zoo? Yo, my boy.
Statement. It was a 75-page dump of content where Parlo went into level details about his life. Reading that was disgusting, not just because of what he wrote, but because he knew exactly who his audience was. Mostly minors, and he still posted it anyways. That's when I knew that I couldn't defend him anymore. That's why I'm making this video. The first thing I want to talk about is the GoFundMe that Parlo made.
But y'all boys gotta, y'all gotta realize, keep your stuff off of the internet. Simple.
The screenshots you're seeing on screen right now are from Wolfgang's document, and they show something completely unbelievable. Around late September, Parlo launched a GoFundMe claiming he needed money for legal fees, food, and rent. He told me the same thing privately, which is why he asked me to promote it in my video about his disappearance. He said he was facing possible litigation and still dealing with this temporary arrest during the dupe situation, and I believed him. I'd been helping him behind the scenes for months, compiling evidence, organizing files, and doing work for free to save him legal costs. But just a week later, he used that same money to fund a trip to London, a trip that was explicitly in nature. Evidence shows Parlo sent over $1,400 to Wolfgang, with $1,100 being for the plane ticket and the other $300 being for the passport and other fees. All this was happening while Parlo was still collecting donations from
Bro, we're literally watching. Okay, I'm gonna try to explain this to you guys really quickly, because sit down, children. We are watching the literal fallout of the internet. Like, this is end game internet. This is what happens when a whole generation grows up isolated online chronically. Back in the day, people used to meet in local towns, pubs, everything. Yeah, bro. Sorry, I just had a business text message. Listen, dog. Y'all gotta chill, bro. Because this is starting to become a problem. Like, this has been happening since I was a kid. Like, when I was younger, all my favorite Minecraft YouTubers, well, not all of them, but a lot of them were in something, some drama, some kind of weird situation. And I'm not saying you gotta be perfect, but fam, keep it off the internet. Keep that shit off the net, bro. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to curse for real, but like, dog, I don't be trying to curse that much, but like, why are y'all everything on the internet?
fans who thought they were helping him pay rent or legal bills. When people started calling him out, Parlo claimed that the GoFundMe money came in after the trip, as if that made it okay. But that's not how it works. Once you start asking people for donations, all your finances matter. You can't claim to be broke and begging for help while also blowing your own money on luxury trips and hookups. It's the same pool of money, and how you prioritize it says everything. What makes this even worse is that he hadn't paid his editors in almost 5 months and was still asking friends like me to handle his work for free. Meanwhile, he bought a new gaming laptop worth around $2,100, or about 1,600 sterling as he said, and a brand new phone which is probably around $500 to $800. Normally that wouldn't be a problem, but when you're begging strangers for money to stay afloat, that's not a good look. I even offered to help him make money again by letting him upload on my channel while his was still locked. But instead of being responsible, he spent thousands on technology and his trip. We even finished a few videos together that I've now completely cancelled because there's no way I can in good faith feature him on my channel after all of this. And just to update, after a lot of arguing, Parlo finally admitted that the GoFundMe situation was bad and supposedly planned to refund donors. But that doesn't change the fact that he only realized it after a massive argument and a public meltdown. He even started a fight on Twitter with Tanuki Alex, calling the whole situation nothing burger when she was completely right to call him out. Now, before getting into the rest of the document itself, I need to explain how I first heard about all of this, because what Parlo told me back then and what I know now are two completely different stories. About a month ago, Parlo messaged me privately claiming he'd been by Wolfgang, that he'd been during their meetup.
Wait, bro. Yo, this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous, bro. And I'm not commenting on every little thing. I'm letting it play because I'm blindsided. Like, I was coming into this thinking it was like some argument, bro. This is serious. No. Like, this is serious, bro, for real. Like, gang, y'all have... Let me listen. I don't want to say nothing Let me.
He told me Wolfgang had snuck into the shower with him, scrubbed his back, and that things got freaky without his consent. I didn't judge him for being gay or anything like that. I just took it at face value, and he made it sound like a serious... with him, scrubbed his back, and that things got freaky without his consent.
Yo, the moment Blood walked into the bathroom, I'm right hooking him. What are you talking about, dude? What you mean start scrubbing your back? Out there with that John Jones back elbow. Get what? What are you bro, I don't know, bro. I don't know. What are we talking about, bro? Like,
I didn't judge him for being gay or anything like that. I just took it at face value, and he made it sound like a serious... but after reading the actual DMs and screenshots Parlo himself included in his document, that version completely fell apart. The messages show Parlo openly flirting and initiating things long before the meetup, saying things like, "I do."
Wait, what?
Want my talk, I cannot lie. And
Y'all young boys wild, bro.
You have to be delicate. These aren't messages from someone being they're from someone who's fully aware and willing. Parlo's own writing describes Wolfgang entering the bathroom and the shower while he looked away uncomfortably, but nowhere does he say he told Wolfgang no. And later on Dicker's live stream, he even admitted that there was never any clear communication of him saying no. Looking at it now, it's obvious that this wasn't some one-sided. It was mutual, messy, and embarrassing, not criminal. Parlo only started calling it.
Yeah, bro, I don't care for the details of this one. Like the definer details, yeah, I don't care about definer details. I'm gonna just keep it a buck with y'all. I'm not trying to hear that.
Afterwards, seemingly because it didn't go how he wanted or because Wolfgang wasn't what he expected. But what really pushed it over the edge was that both of them decided to make this private situation public. Parlo's 75-page document goes into level detail, writing about and objects used during, even including censored photos of him. He literally talks about using a purple glitter toy he nicknamed Cinderella and describes in detail what he did with it, such as putting it in his no-no square. He added captions about objects, all labeled as evidence. This document wasn't made for authority.
I'm not gonna lie, this is nuts. Bro. Y'all make Roblox videos, bro. We gotta be a little bit mindful, just a little bit.
By the way, Parlo made this in order to release it to the public. Within 48 hours, that document had 80,000 views from just one tweet. Parlo even included a personal note like, "I don't think I've off in like 4 or 5 days," which is just insane to include in a document you're sharing with an audience of mostly minors.
Yo, did he just mimic him? Did he just mimic his voice?
Tweet. Parlo even included a personal note like, "I don't think I've off in like 4 or 5 days," which is just insane to include in a document.
Yo, this video is crazy.
And you're sharing with an audience of mostly minors. Just to be clear here, Wolfgang is not innocent, but Parlo's choice to release something this personal to the public is beyond irresponsible. He labeled it as transparency, but it is not at all. It's self-exposing, degenerate, and completely disconnected from reality. This should have stayed private, never made public. Before I get to the argument that I had with Parlo, there's something in his document that also seriously needs to be addressed because it shows how hypocritical he really is. On page 19, Parlo brings up a situation involving Yixalo, also known as Avalon, same person, just a different username, and he wrote that Yixalo was probably known to have been 17 turning 18 on September 30th, 2025, and that Wolfgang knew this. Parlo even included his exact birthday, and claims that just 2 days after Yixalo turned 18, Wolfgang started sending unsolicited and getting in DMs, supposedly making him feel pressured to respond. The part that makes this so bizarre is that Parlo was right there.
Yo, I ain't gonna lie, everybody is really just gooned out of their minds. It's getting there, bro. Gooned out. Gooned out. Bro, it's too much. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I'm getting a little older. I'm getting more older, more mature. I've always been like pro protect the kids, pro protect the, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, but like the youth, like y'all young people, you have to chill. I ain't gonna say don't go and don't do what you need to do, but it needs to be healthy. You need to have a healthy relationship with these things, because if not, you're gonna start thinking that you are into and liking these things. And even if you do bat for another team or whatever, it doesn't matter. There's still a healthy way to go about things, bro. This is unhealthy, and he just doing it all on the net. Like, yo, I'm not gonna lie, I'm low-key tweaking off of this video. This is insane. This might be one of the most craziest things I've watched all year. I think 2-3 years. This is one of the most insane dramas in videos I reacted to. We need to chill. We gotta chill. Yeah, I might upload this first. I got like mad videos I don't record it. I'm gonna upload this first. Yeah, this video, yo.
He admits it all happened in a small group chat that included him, Wolfgang, Avalon, and 3 other accounts he conveniently censored in the screenshots. So Parlo knew exactly what was going on and could have spoken up or stepped in, but he didn't. He even admits that Wolfgang created another chat named Octoberfest that was literally meant to plan a 3-way between them. And in that chat, Wolfgang sent furry art and photos of himself dressed
What? Why are you? Oh my! Yo, y'all getting down like that? Yo, y'all getting down like that? Y'all furries getting down like that? Oh my! Hold it down, bro. I'm gonna hold it down. I'm gonna hold it down. I'm gonna hold it
the
down,
femboy, even full just 8 days after Avalon turned 18. So if Parlo really thought that this was wrong, why didn't he say anything back then? Why didn't he leave, report it, or confront Wolfgang? Why wait to include it in a 75-page document like it suddenly mattered when it could be used to make him look better? He even tries to frame it as calling Wolfgang out, but all it really shows that he sat there, watched everything happen, didn't intervene, didn't care, not until it became useful to him. Honestly, reading this section felt like watching a twisted back and forth between 2 people who did really horrible things, like Jeffrey Epstein versus Diddy.
Nah, I ain't gonna lie, you're wrong. Okay, whoa, that's yo. What? Yo, this is nuts.
Seeing that, I confronted Parlo privately, and I asked him why he hadn't said anything, why he thought making it public afterwards was somehow the right move.
This might be reaction of the year, bro. Because I can't. I'm sorry. I know I'm being hysterical, but yo, this is actually crazy. I feel like I have the right to react the way I'm reacting. Because go back to the beginning of the videos, I didn't even know what was going on. I had no context to nothing. Even Guamo, he even talking crazy. Bro.
And that's when our argument started. Now about the argument I had with Parlo, I just wanted to understand what the hell he was thinking. From the very start, it was obvious that this whole thing should have stayed private. I couldn't wrap my head around why he thought it was a good idea to drop a document like that publicly, especially one filled with that type of information. I first found out about everything through Twitter when both his and Wolfgang's documents dropped. I happened to be on call with one of my editors, planning another video for the next day, but once this blew up, we decided to go through it together. Parlo was in a group chat for my editor since he was supposed to help me out with my channel for a couple months while his own was locked due to the police taking his devices, and out of nowhere, he joined the call and told me he needed me to make a video defending him. At that point, I still thought it was just people lying about him, but as soon as I started reading, Parlo told me not to bother with Wolfgang's document and to just read mine. I told him straight up that, based off of Wolfgang's document, the GoFundMe part looked really bad because it actually made sense, and I didn't even know he had done something like that. Instead of explaining anything, he snapped at me, called me a moron, a little bit less friendly, it started with an R, and told me to shut up and to get to his part, meaning his document. Now, I ended up continuing to read Wolfgang's document, and Parlo ended up leaving the call because he was going to go speak on another streamer's live stream to give quote-unquote his side of the story. He ended up joining the call back later, but we'll get to that in a moment. Now, once I actually got to Parlo's document, everything completely fell apart because it wasn't a defense, it was a 75-page graphic content that did not belong online. I told him exactly that when he joined the call back later, that it was disgusting, irresponsible, and would destroy his reputation. I also warned him that this kind of behavior doesn't just hurt him, it hurts everyone connected to him. I told him verbatim, dude, you understand this is going to start affecting everyone who's associated to you, right? Because that's exactly what's been happening. Even while talking in live streams about the situation, because there's been 2 or 3 streams about the situation, people were already trying to drag me into it, saying that I knew everything or had all the archives, which is complete. I found out the exact same way everyone else did. Now, at about an hour throughout reading this document, Parlo ended up joining the call back again because the first stream ended, and we told Parlo exactly how we felt, we being me and a video editor of mine who is going to testify to the details that I'm about to explain. Once Dial and I explained to Parlo what we thought about this document of his, Parlo completely lost it. He started calling us stupid, slow, and said that nobody would understand what he was going through. I told him straight up that nobody's going to take you seriously once this gets out. He kept spiraling, saying that he was the biggest victim, worse off than Ruben, Schlepp, or even me, and it was just a full-on meltdown. Dial, my editor, was there for it all. Parlo rage quit the call, and that's when it hit me. He'd completely lost control. Now on screen, you're going to see Dial's testimony as to what happened. If you have any questions, I'm sure he'll be more than happy to answer any questions. Now, later on that night, he went live again on another live stream on Dicker's live stream this time. This live stream is still up. You guys can go check it out. And somehow, that live stream made everything worse. He doubled down, reading his entire document on stream, every detail, including the Cinderella part, like it was normal. Then, when people brought up the GoFundMe again, he fell apart because there's no way to justify.
Wait, okay, hold on, wait. What do you mean? What? Yo, that's nuts. I shouldn't have read it. Why did I read it?
Normal. Then, when people brought up the GoFundMe again, he fell apart because there's no way to justify using over $1,000 to fly someone out for gay. That was the breaking point. I knew I had to cut him off. After everything, the document, the live stream, the arguing, the gaslighting, I made my final decision and permanently cut Parlo off. I've known Parlo for almost 3 years, and he's not the same person from back then. Back then, he cared about his content and had some integrity. Now he refuses to take accountability, lashes out at anyone who questions him, and burns every bridge he crosses. I've given him more chances than he ever deserved, even back in 2023 when he ran a massive slander campaign against me, spreading fake claims saying that I streamed illegal content, which has been proven false numerous times. I still forgave him. I thought he could change, but this was the final line. I offered him work, tried to help him get back on his feet, defended him when no one else would. And this is how he repaid that, by dragging me into one of the most disgusting and reckless situations I've ever seen. When you post a 75-page document full of content and then attack the people who tried to help you, that's not poor judgment, that's self-destruction. I'm not saying this out of anger, I'm saying this because it's the truth. I cared about him as a friend, but what he's done is beyond repair. It's immature, irresponsible, and dangerous, especially when most of his fan base are minors. I just want to add on because I just had another conversation an hour after recording this video, and one of the things that Parlo said in that conversation was that he believes he is mentally incapable of making decisions for himself. And what this is showing me is that he needs to get away from the internet. He is not in a position where he's not supposed to have a platform. He needs to get off the internet completely and indefinitely. Before I end off the video, I do want to add another thing or two. If there will be any updates to this situation, I'm either going to be posting on community posts here, or I'll be saying something on Twitter. On screen right now is my brand new Twitter account. You guys can go follow it. It's going to be in the pinned comment. But thank you guys for watching. Appreciate you guys watching until the end, and like, subscribe, comment your thoughts, because I do really want to see what you guys think about this situation, because it is pretty bad.
Wait, what do you mean? No wonder he was arrested. He got arrested? I feel like I knew that, but hold on. What is this?
It's been arrested over what was known as the dupe situation, a case where Parlo was catfished and the person he was talking to lied about their age. Dupe claimed to be 17 turning 18 while Parlo was 19 at the time. Later, Dupe suddenly went public claiming that he was actually 12, which completely flipped the story and sparked a massive smear campaign full of fake screenshots, doctored messages, and...
Oh, no, that's nuts. Yeah, no, that's nuts. I don't need to know no more about it, but that's crazy. It's crazy! I don't know. I feel like you guys want more words. I feel like there's energy, like y'all telling me I want words. Look, bro. Real life is real. The internet is fake. There's a world outside that's rotting, that needs the young people to actually be cognizant and to be educated and to be well put together. You know, you guys can't let yourselves lose your brain to the internet, bro, because we already have so many issues going on in the world. This cannot be where we are, bro. I believe in the young people, bro. The young people, you guys have to be better. And I know it sounds crazy, but unfortunately in the world, we are in a position where the older people, they're losing it and they're doing anything. So the planet that we're gonna be left with has to be bro. All the broken pieces have to be picked up by the young people. But if the young people are also broken, it's over. And I know this is like super dramatic, and I know I don't mean to scare anybody because that's not my intent. But at the same time, guys, this is insane. As a people, as humanity, this is insane, bro. This is insane. That's all I'm gonna say, bro. Find some morals and have love in your heart.